This is the translation of Luang Pu's answer to Dr. Huang's question about is this the right time to write about Luang Pu. So Luang Pu said it's okay to write about him. However, there is no need to tell anyone that you are writing about Luang Pu. Because we are studying Dharma and we have attained a lot of wisdom. So let's use the rationale, the logic, the cause and effect that resulted from your study of Buddhism. Whatever you learn from the Tipitaka, and you should have a very high level of self-confidence. Have high self-confidence and do whatever in such a way that you have a good rationale that in accordance with Dhamma and Vinaya or discipline, rules of conduct. Let's not be deviate from Dhamma and Vinaya. Be in accordance to the principle of the teaching of Dhamma. So you must know and learn to be able to contemplate and analyze when anyone tell you that you shouldn't write or you cannot write. Maybe it's just a kind of a test that testing you. You must have self-confidence, high level of self-confidence. Before you can attain high level of self-confidence, you must practice until you truly see the reality. What is it that you must see? You must see that this world is having the birth of these 5 aggregates which call human. Other beings or creatures has less than 5 aggregates. They might have 4, 3, 2, 1 aggregates, elements of the body mind. For example, the dog has only 4 aggregates. They start with the anicca. They exist, they remain with the existence, and then they extinct. They don't know what is what. This is their nature. Do you think dogs know impermanence? No, they don't know impermanence because they have only 4 elements. Do dogs know tukkhang, suffering? No, they don't know it. However, do you think they suffer? Yes, they suffer, but they don't know suffering. They don't know tukkhang. When dogs get sick, they feel the suffering, but they don't know that it is suffering. Human, however, have 5 aggregates or 5 components of the body and mind. So they start from having the anicca as well. They exist, they maintain the existence, and then they also extinct. Human form will be dissolved, or aggregates will be dissolved. They also have dukkha. Does human know dukkha or suffering, dissatisfactoriness? Yes, they do know. They can also know that suffering awaits for them in the future as well. So you can see that through anicca and dukkha, human and dog doesn't have any differences, but they differ in the way that human knows, but animals doesn't know. So even they have the same attribute, but human know, animal doesn't know. For example, a human know that he give himself as example. He used to be very handsome, now he's not. Dog doesn't know that when the dog were puppies, they were like cute and handsome. And then he give example that Pu Eng, which is how he always compliment me, Manning. Pu Eng mean gorgeous looking, the one who is gorgeous. Like I used to be gorgeous looking. Now I became เจ้าแม่ตะเคียนทอง which is like the deities that stay with a big tree, which called the golden ตะเคียน. And this big tree always have like the goddess of the tree that look kind of old and scary. So he said, now whatever I have is kind of shrink and wrinkling or wither, shrunken. You can see, right? This is anicca. So anicca is where everything begins with. So it begins with anicca, then followed by dukkha. Then he asked, do you think humans have to face dukkha, suffering or dissatisfactoriness? Yes, human took suffer because of parting from others, parting from loved one, parting from loved things, like losing things and loved ones. We also suffer because of hunger, craving, wanting something but cannot get what we want, wanting the object that will satisfy our sensual needs and want. So this will result in dukkha. So in conclusion, we have anicca and dukkha, as same as how animals do. However, the animal doesn't know. They don't know anicca and dukkha, but human know. For over 2,000 years ago, on the river bank of the Niranchala river, the Buddha has awakened to another attribute which is called anatta. So those who entering the stream of enlightenment, then the awakened one, the enlightened one, which he called, หลวงปู่ called Ariya, knows anatta. So when the Buddha awakened to anatta, anicca and dukkha disappear. It's the knowing that suggests anatta. So anicca and dukkha disappear. There is not self and no soul. It's not about me, my, I, they, them, he, she is not anything. Everything is เช่นนั้นเอง it's just like that, or in another word is suchness. This word suchness or sunyata is a big word, so we must translate it well. It's important. It is an important and great vocab, great word. So we should reflect and contemplate on it. Dr. Huang knows this. หลวงปู่ said he knows. Dr. Huang knows. So if you know this, you will attain high level of confidence, self-confidence, and you will remain or living in this world in such a graceful way. In Thai, it's สง่างาม graceful. Every step that you take will decorate the world to become more beautiful. ปิติจะเกิดขึ้น ปิติ mean gladness, happiness, delight or rapture will arise. You will be joyful with knowing the anatta, and you will see that all worldlings or being in this world, in all worlds, they are under the suffering, piles of suffering, P-I-L-E, pile of suffering. Then we will continue in the way of sharing blessing to worldly beings. So how can we share our blessing? How can we prod? You may ask me, can I write? หลวงปู่ said, you can use me as like a model. The story about me is a true story. So write the truth and write down according to the incident that happened and the rationale. However, หลวงปู่ would not want it to be commercialized. It cannot be sold. Let's not sell it, because หลวงปู่ wants to โปรดสัตว์โลก share his blessing to the worldly being as well. There are so many things to share. He has bring with him a lot of things to share, but if people do it with wrong purpose, they will make a business out of it. So this is the correct way. Let's be clear. Do it in offerings to the Dharma, to worship the Buddha and his grace with gratitude toward the Buddha. Let's not have anything remain. Let's all dissolve. When I share with you my past or past life that I reflected back of my past and share it with you, is because I would like you to gain faith and inspire you to diligently practice taba or religious austerity, because Taba is the greatness of worldly being, สัตว์โลก The greatest of all worldly being is human. They have 5 aggregates and they can see anatta. They have possibility to see anatta. Whoever cannot see anatta, they are called putuchon. Even they are human, but they are human at the level of worldlings or ordinary worldly beings. Ordinary people can make mistake. They can be mistaken. Whoever tell them whatever, they will follow through blind faith. And he gave example of Mo. Mo has a lot of wisdom, very intelligent. She can learn quickly and she can keep a lot of knowledge in her storage. However, she cannot break out of the knowledge. It is difficult for her. However, if she can get to the point, get to the right point, then it will be easy for her to make an exit or break out from this cycle of the samsara. So again, he repeat, the animal in this world have 4 aggregates, 4 elements of the body mind. They are the same as human that has 5 aggregates. They have anicca and dukkha. Then he talked about his dog, one of his dogs called Siton. Siton used to be very handsome dog. So he changed now, but he doesn't know anicca. Does he have dukkha? Yes, he have dukkha, but he doesn't know that he have dukkha. You can also compare this anicca dukkha to เกิดแก่เจ็บตาย being born, growing old, getting sick and then die. Siton, his dog, has to face เกิดแก่เจ็บตาย but he doesn't know that this เกิดแก่เจ็บตาย caused him suffering. Also doesn't know what can he do to change his next becoming in the future. He said การเกิดน่ากลัวกว่าความตาย To be reborn is more fearful than to be dead. Most humans know anicca dukkha, which make them different from animal, but they don't know anatta. Only Buddha awakened at the riverbank of Niranjala, awakened to anatta on Visakha Busha Day. He has transcended beyond world and break through the universal, like become omnipresent. This is great, It is greatness. This wisdom, it happened through a lot of wisdom. The spirituality is very, very massive, great or enormous To travel the path of spirituality, we have to have mindfulness. To travel in the samsara, we must see the danger in the samsara. We must know that to be born is the most fearful thing. Most monks will teach you about เกิดแก่เจ็บตาย and say that it is a normal phenomena that happen to every walk of life. However, they didn't tell you that to be born is the most fearful thing. Even you listen to this every day, but you will be blinded by the way of the world. It gives you illusion and it make you collect the seed of becoming in your storage. ยุ้งฉาง To release out the delusion or delusional things that you kept in your storage is very difficult. However, if you have some merit, it's not certain that you cannot release out. Maybe you have บำเพ็ญตบะ have been practicing ตบะ in your past life. However, หลวงปู่ would not tell you or give prediction. However, หลวงปู่ predict that Dr. Eng will be a great writer. Even that he knows, but he will not give the prediction because if he said it out, then you will not become great because you will just sit on it and certain that you would be a great writer, but you will not start take action. Because if someone come tell him that he will be great, he will just sit and relax and waiting to be great. He won't do anything. He laughed when he said this. So end result would be that he would never become great because he didn't take any action. He might become great in the next life if he came across or meeting with a great guru which teach him and guide him correctly. The teacher that will teach like how he is giving teaching today, the past is already past, is already behind you. The future is ahead of you. We haven't reached there yet. Let's make today better than yesterday. And then one day we can think of our past as the sweet past. Buddhism teaches us to focus at the present. Let the past pass and then focus at the present. Again, he repeat that we have anicca and dukkha. However, if one day we truly awaken to anatta, then it can be called enlightenment. After enlightenment, you will be able to reflect on your past. You can see whatever past very clear. It will happen naturally, automatically. So, to attain anatta, to awaken to anatta is a great attainment. You see everything in this world, how it went, how it have come, how it would go. You see everything. So when knowing all this, we don't need to give prediction. We don't have to set go. We don't have to fix anything. Let all and everything flow naturally, because the wisdom arise from anatta will automatically work on its own. It will perform the duty that would provide benefits and well-being in the way of blessings worldly beings. It is so great, so you should reach that point. หลวงปู่ will help to sustain and support you to travel the path of being นักบวช or the ordained one, graceful นักบวช หลวงปู่ said to Dr. Huang that of her wisdom, of her level of intelligence, if she returned to the worldly way, หลวงปู่ would give her 3 days. Then she will cry big time. She will be so sorry when she knows that only this much that the world can give me. Is it all? Is this all there is in this world? Happiness in the worldly way is cause happiness. It is rough, not a refined one. It's the happiness that mixed with sorrow and sadness and suffering. Then he asked, why should anyone should turn back to the worldly way? So let's maintain and reserve the purity and the greatness of Buddha-jit, which is the flower of your mind. Buddha means flower, jit means mind. ไว้ดีๆ so preserve it well and continue in the way of บำเพ็ญตบะ practice austerity. So if you write a book and you use Dhamma principle to write down this book as dana, it will give you a great merit retribution. When you sit and write, whatever you doesn't know, you will know. It clear ignorance. You will able to find how anicca, dukkha, anatta arise, how it extinct, and it will just happen to you when you keep right down and repeating the anatta wisdom will happen to you, and it will result in enlightenment for you. Enlightenment can come through writing as well. Some can be enlightened through writing, some through reading a lot. Some can be enlightened through thinking, contemplating a lot. Some can be enlightened through listening a lot. Then enlightenment will come when you are focused on something and do it at extensive level. Then he said to the audience, everybody has the chance to attain enlightenment. However, they should maintain the purity of the Buddha-jit, the flower of the mind. Then he talked about more again, that Mo has a bondage and karmic bondage and connections with him. And then Long Pu recite Siha Na Thang Na Tan Te Te. Why should we be afraid? We too are lions. So when you chant and radiate the mind strength, it will be powerful and meditative power will arise. Then he repeat about it begin with anicca, tukkhaṃ follow, then seeing anatta, awaken to the five aggregate khandha. There is no soul and not self. The five aggregate is form, vedana, feelings, perception, thought formation, and consciousness. That is all there is. Most beings, he means animal, they have no thought formation. So cut this of the five aggregates. So animal has only 4 elements. Then he chant one Buddhist chanting to radiate the blessing. The chanting goes like all beings travel in small and large realm of existence, planes of existence, big and small. They travel back and forth, some having 5 aggregates, some having 4, 3, 2, 1 aggregates. May all of them happy and free from suffering. So of all beings, only human that stand up straight. And then he was joking about how the penguin also a type of burly being that can stand up straight also, as well as kangaroo. And then he just like jokingly that the kangaroo can wear boxing glove. And then he was just like playfully say ซ้ายขวา. That is how like the boxer practice their left and right punches. They will be able to do it through evolution. Even human already have evolution, but some of human tribe still very close to being monkey. So the world evolution can change monkeys into human. Then he chant his writing about the evolution as follow. The evolution of the world has brought mankind to the heights of time. At the same time, mankind battle with the enormous obstacle of the thought. Because mankind has battled with the thoughts about time and the age of the universe, he didn't realize that if this is the age of the universe, then beyond the age of the universe, what is it? This is absolutely madness. That's freaking crazy. However, For the Buddhas who have already break through the insight, has already give us conclusion that the universe have no age. Don't you think this is great? Luang Pu said, if you are on the tip of a mountain, looking at the sky and try to count the stars, if you are able to count all the stars, it could not be called stars. Then he talked about if we travel in a spaceship and land in another planet, and Luang Pu say, let's go out, Ning. Let's go out, Lilavadi. And then we saw aliens or like other beings on that planet. They were like having dinner. We think our standard of beauty would say we are good looking, but they might think that we are very ugly, and they might think they are very good looking, but we might think they are very ugly as well. They might want to throw up if they were eating. They think we are very disgusting. However, for us, we also think they are very disgusting because they have very long tongue. Their body might look like centipede or like 1,000 legs. You say ถูกต้อง ถูกต้อง mean yeah, that's right. There are so many things that beyond our imagination. Whatever the Buddha have taught us or taught others only can be compared to the leaf in his hand, but his enlightenment give him enormous knowledge as leaf that in the forest. So he can only teach us very limiting knowledge compared to what he knows. Luang Pu say Buddha's words that compared like this is very sacred, very holy, and at the same time it's very classic. So sometimes we are worried, where should we go if the sun extinct? How can we leave this world? How can we go? Then he asked Dr. Huang, if the sun extinct, will there be anything remain on this planet Earth? Where should we go? Where should we heading? The mind can travel very fast, even millions of light years. We can travel through mind. Mind traveling can be reached to the destination that far away, like millions light year away in seconds. However, have you know how to travel through using your mind to travel? Have you been traveling through mind to the place that 100 light years away from us? No, you cannot reach there because you haven't attained to the level that the Buddha has pointed the way. Long Pu said the next Buddha will teach you how this Buddha in this era, he already taught all that is necessary for the people in this era. He have taught all he could share already. He already told us that there is no age of the universe. There are multi-universes. There are many planets like planet Earth that we are living in, and there are beings in other planets as well that we call them aliens. However, why should Buddha tell you about the thing that is not beneficial to anyone in this age? However, the science will prosper and develop to higher level, will lead to a great progression. Spirituality will also prosper, and that was why the Buddha said, when the sun extinct, we will all live together in a big ship or a big vessel. And this only limiting to those who are meritful. They can travel in a blink of an eye from this planet to another planet. We will be reborn into the womb of an alien as soon as we born. We will born with tails as long as arm length, like one arm, and another part like half of the arm, from the hand to the elbow. It's just talking about we will be born with like strange parts of the body, like with tails, and we will have very long arms, long tongue, and very big eyeballs. On our head, we will not have any hair. Then he just make jokes that hair will grow at some other place, and he pointing at lower part of the body. And another joke is that male penis will be very huge, like bigger than those penises of the horses. So he said, isn't that right? Human from this planet Earth will again be re-exist in another planet that 1,000 light years away from this planet Earth. You might wonder, how can we be like that? How can we go like that? Of course we can. The next Buddha will tell you how to. Even though we haven't been there before, but we can exist there, travel there through our mind. We will travel there in less than a second. Long Pu said this is scientific, so who can explain this? Who can analyze this, they will have followers worshipping them. They will have followers that following them. So if you are set for seeking to be like that, you have to start by upholding morality. You should have sila before anything else. Then you should follow by pavana, which is meditation, vipassana. In this way, it shows that you are up to โปรดสัตว์โลก blessing worldly beings. เมตตาธรรม the Dhamma of loving kindness compassion is a great meritful Dhamma. After you attain anatta, awaken, enlighten to anatta Dhamma, then metta will arise naturally. Your wisdom, your knowledge, or the goodness that you attain, you can share them with worldly beings. You can share it to all level of intelligence follower, which could be compared to the 4 level of lotuses. So all in all หลวงปู่ address to คุณเฮืองรักษาบุพาจิตให้ผ่องใสรักษา mean preserve บุพาจิต mean flower of your mind ผ่องใส mean healthy and cheerful delightful crystal clear. If you are up to do something, you don't need to get consensus or believe others. Whatever things that people tell you, you can listen to them. However, you don't have to jump into believing them. So contemplate with your own rationale. For example, when หลวงปู่ said, you can write and you will create great benefit for others, and the meritful retribution will come back to you. However, there may be some other people tell you, no, you should not write, you cannot do it. Why you cannot write? What is the rationale behind that? You don't need to tell them that you are writing. You don't need to announce it. However, when the fruit of your writing has bear fruit for you, you can show the result, the good benefit that you have achieved later. The person who stopped you from writing would say, wow, my student is extraordinary. My student, my follower is so extraordinary. She is special. I should haven't told her that day not to write. However, to be able to write, you have to learn the Buddha's essence so that you can have self-confidence. Whatever you do, you will create benefit for yourself, for others, and the great benefit for all and everything. The person who have stopped you from writing, He might be a sage. He might be a great awakened or enlightened one. He might just want to taste you, taste your wisdom, taste your level of Dhamma attainment without wanting to put you down, only tasting your level of attainment and wisdom. Whatever color given to you, whether they are black or white, which means any positive and negative that gave to you, you just say thank you. Take it with gratitude. Whether it is praise or blame, complimenting you, scolding you, you just say thank you. Welcome all. If you can thank you for everything, you can become a sage. Oh, a wise one, graduated one. You will be able to travel to another planet. These things is great. It is superb. Now you are in Thailand. Let's learn Thai language. Study Thai language and practice and train Thai language, and also study Theravada Buddhism. Many monks have potential to become enlightened. However, their karmic payback may manifest. For example, while Luang Pu was having his meal, a monk walked up and said, "Can I have some whiskey?" Then it just destroyed the whole thing. Then he just make some complaint that he complained to the monk that, you are so dark, like darkness. When I told your mom and dad to have sex in the full moon day, so that they will give birth to brightly shining child, but I don't know why you are born with darkness. Maybe your father and mother had sex on the no moon day, so you were born with darkness. He said, while everybody having Dhamma gathering, and this monk just wanting to have fun, asking for whiskey to enjoy himself. He just complained that in Dhamma gathering, he was about to take everybody to the cosmic, to the greater things in the universe, but this guy come and destroy the whole Dhamma gathering. However, this monk who came to destroy the Dhamma gathering, asking for whiskey, he's the enlightened monk, but he has the karma. He has the karma to manifest in that way, to behave in that way. So if you were in the Dhamma gathering and you point your finger at this awakened monk and cursing, blaming, or criticizing his way, you will create karma for yourself, negative karma. Luang Pu said you would be considered worse than him. So, through the principle of Dhamma, you must always thank you to สีดำ and สีขาว to black and white, to positive and negative. So keep in mind that all worldly beings, they have unpredictable chance. It is uncertain that they might be enlightened or not enlightened. So if you are pointing your finger at Ahingsaka Kuman, which is the Onkulimala who was the murderer, that you like cursing and blaming him, but he actually turned to be the enlightened one. So if you are cursing him, then you may be cursing the future enlightened one, or some even curse and blame and scold the Onkuliman after he enlightened and became monk. They still like throwing rocks at him. So these people, they don't know that inside he's already arahant. Onkuliman was running after the Buddha and say, stop, and the Buddha say, I have stopped. He say, how come? I didn't see you stop. The Buddha say, I have stopped creating negative karma, sinful karma, all kind of sins I have stopped already. With only words like that, Onkuliman has attained 4 stages of enlightenment: Sodaban, Sakitagami, Anagami, and Arahant. However, according to the belief of religions that have God, like Christianity, Islamic, or the religions that is theism, they would say Onkulimala would be condemned to hell. He cannot become Arahant. The Buddha said the negative karma or sinful karma that Onkulimala has created was the result of his past karma that forced him to create negative karma. He himself doesn't have the determination or intention to kill people. He was tricked into doing these killing actions. His teacher told him to do so. So when he have cleansed and purified all karma, he have attained the enlightenment and became noble ones. Therefore, Luang Pu tell us, never point your finger to curse or blame or criticize anyone. So remember, all and everything that happens to you, just welcome it with gratitude. Always say thank you. If you thanks, always thank you for all and everything, meritful retribution will come back to you. And he gave example of whatever merit that returning back to him today, which means a lot of offerings, money offering from Dr. Viet and all that. And he gave another example that he just sit here doing nothing, but the doctor, I think he means Machiwan, that offer him the 5-story buildings in Hanoi. So I think when he say คุณหมอ in my earlier translation he means Dr. Wen นะ not Dr. หมอ he just say คุณหมอ and I kept thinking it was หมอ but หลวงปู่ actually means หมอ แม่ชีเวินโอ้โหสินะ then หลวงปู่ invite Dr. Wen and Leelavadi to visit his home in Srisaket. Then he addressed to Leelavadi, say, you are firm now, you are stable now, your life has become stable. Please take care of your mind well, reserve and take care the flower of your mind. You are graceful now. You are bhikkhuni. You have ordained and practiced and uphold Dhamma in many ways, and you have studied well. You have been through a lot. You have been experiencing rich and poor and being high, being low, everything. You have a lot of experience already. You have been through many things in life. Now you have become นักบวช or the ordained person, and it is beautiful. You have doing it correctly. Do it right already. So there's nothing much to reflect. ไม่มีอะไรมาก There's not much to say. Then he repeat again that dogs and human are different because human know anicca dukkha, dogs doesn't know. However, human, ordinary human beings, they don't know anatta. So when he asked Dr. Heung, and Dr. Heung said they don't know anatta, so he said to Dr. Heung, I give you 2 points. And Tang laughed and said, oh, Pu is testing you, and you passed. And then he just make joke, how much is 1 plus 1 equal to how much? And Heung said depends, but Luang Pu said it's equal to 11. He said there is a reason for that, because in Thailand when you park the car, it will say like this side of the road you can park on the odd day, the other side of the road you can park on the even day. So if he park on the 11th on the side that say for even day, he can say because it's 11, 1 plus 1 equal to 2. It's just very local joke that Luang Pu gave. He laughed. He say humor give delightfulness. So when there are listener, when you talk Dhamma, and you can make them entertain as well. When they ask you questions, you can reflect them with rationale and also give delightfulness. He said humor makes people look at the world in a positive way. When you give happiness, delightfulness, you already help them to transcend suffering. It's like without intention, you already give them Dhamma when you make them laugh and enjoy. This is like unintentionally sharing the principle of Dhamma without knowing that it is Dhamma. So again, he said to take care of your mind, the flower of your mind well, so that it will be graceful, สง่างาม beautiful. Let's fight and defeat your obstacle. He said Dr. Heung know a lot know everything, know many things, because she's doctor, PhD graduate. So there must be a lot accumulation of many things in her storage. In her storage is the storage of imagination. It is the itappacayata, which is the dependent origination that covered with ปรุงแต่ง decoration and formation. When you break through anatta, whatever that store in your storage will disappear. Some of the things that store in your storage can be cancelled with ahosikam. Some will be cleansed through ahosikam. Some it considered being karmic bondage. The karma that is light, that is like less in power, will be clear, will be cleansed, but heavier karma will reduce the level of karmic retribution. It will be lessened and lessened. When karma is purified, it will turn from black karma to pink color and then to white color. It will be ahosi, it will be cancelled. He gave himself as example. He went to fight in the war for 8 years. So if you look at the heavy karma that he have created, he has no chance of being enlightened. When he was younger, he was too tough, T-O-O, too tough. He was a North Star sergeant. He was brave and he was bold. He was like daredevil. In the battlefield in Vietnam, he also had laid eggs. He doesn't count how many eggs he laid there in Vietnam. Maybe some of the young visitors visiting him from Vietnam, maybe the result created from one of his eggs. However, he was just like talk to himself like, why should I carry all this obstacle? Just put it down, let it go. So for people who has the intelligence level as lotuses under the water, which is not yet transcend above the water, they will point their finger at him and say that he has no chance to be awakened, to be enlightened. However, หลวงปู่ inspired himself thinking of Ahingsaka Kumara or Ongkuliman, that he killed people and he used people's thumb to hang around his neck, and he still can become arahant. So หลวงปู่ said to himself, if Ahingsaka Kuman can be enlightened, why can't I? หลวงปู่ said he already repent and now living his life with metta tham, Dhamma of loving kindness, compassion. He repented with his guilty conscience until he had tears in his eye. May all and everything be ahosikam, be forgiven. And then he said Jaran Pon, which means bless you, bless all.